Right now, as you watch this, a war is being fought inside your body. Cancer cells are forming, free radicals are attacking your DNA. And your immune system is trying to keep up. But your most powerful defense weapon isn't a drug or a supplement. It's a hormone your body makes for free and almost entirely in the dark. That hormone is melatonin, and most of us are unknowingly shutting it down every single night. Picture two people. One goes to bed at 10:30 p.m., lights off, phone down. The other stays up scrolling until 1 a.m. At the cellular level, those two people are aging at dramatically different rates. A landmark cohort study tracking more than 100,000 adults over 25 years found that biological aging markers differed significantly based on single lifestyle factors, and the timing of darkness exposure is one of the most powerful. People who chronically disrupted their nighttime physiology showed a 10 to 15% higher risk of being biologically older than their actual age. So what exactly is melatonin, and why does it matter so much? Melatonin is produced by the pineal gland, a tiny pea-sized structure buried deep in the brain. During the day, light entering the eyes signals the pineal gland to stop production entirely. When darkness falls, melatonin secretion begins, typically rising about 2 hours before your regular sleep time, and peaking between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. At age 13, this peak is enormous, a massive flood of the hormone. But by your 40s, melatonin output has dropped to roughly half of youthful levels. By your 60s, it's reduced even further, which is a major reason why older adults struggle to sleep deeply. Now here is where this story gets remarkable. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. A 2025 peer-reviewed analysis confirmed that melatonin simultaneously inhibits tumor cell proliferation, blocks cancer cell migration, suppresses blood vessel formation that feeds tumors, and triggers programmed cancer cell death. This has been demonstrated across breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, gastric cancer, bladder cancer, and ovarian cancer. In a pancreatic cancer animal model, melatonin supplementation shrank tumor size by 65%. In ovarian cancer models, tumor volume was reduced by 50%. In head and neck squamous cell carcinoma, tumor growth was suppressed by more than 60%. The mechanism is sophisticated. Cancer cells survive by hijacking normal energy metabolism, a process called the Warburg effect, where tumor cells rapidly convert glucose to lactate, even when oxygen is available. Melatonin directly reverses this process, cutting off one of cancer's primary fuel sources. Equally impressive is melatonin's antioxidant power. Unlike vitamin C or vitamin E, which neutralize one free radical molecule and then become inactive, melatonin triggers a cascade reaction. When melatonin is metabolized, its breakdown products continue scavenging free radicals in a chain reaction. Researchers estimate that a single melatonin molecule may ultimately neutralize up to 10 reactive oxygen species. This is why melatonin is concentrated in mitochondria, the very place where free radical damage to DNA is most dangerous, protecting against the mutations that drive both aging and cancer. The blue light problem is more serious than most people realize. Studies show that blue light wavelengths from smartphones, computers, and LED lighting suppress melatonin far more aggressively than ordinary light. Research found that deep sleep percentage was significantly decreased in the blue light exposure group, compared with groups using incandescent lighting or blue light blocking glasses. When you scroll your phone at 11 p.m., you are not just staying awake a bit later. You are chemically blocking the hormone your body needs to fight cancer and slow cellular aging. The night shift data makes this even more concrete. Multiple studies found that women who worked night shifts long-term showed meaningful increases in breast cancer incidence. The proposed mechanism is that chronic melatonin suppression from light exposure at night weakens melatonin's ability to suppress estrogen-sensitive cancer pathways. The body's internal clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, governs this entire system, and it requires regular, predictable darkness to function. Now let's talk about 3 practical recipes that support melatonin production naturally through food. These work by supplying tryptophan, the amino acid that converts to serotonin and then to melatonin in the body, as well as phytomelatonin, the plant-based form of melatonin found in certain foods. The first recipe is a melatonin-boosting evening smoothie. Use half a banana, 15 fresh or frozen cherries, 150 milliliters of warm soy milk, 3 walnuts, and half a teaspoon of honey. Blend everything together and drink between 9 and 10 p.m. Research found that cherry consumption significantly raised serum melatonin levels, and banana and soy milk provide tryptophan precursors that feed the serotonin to melatonin conversion pathway. The second recipe is a tryptophan-rich evening miso soup. Dice a quarter block of firm tofu, slice 2 shiitake mushrooms, and simmer in 400 milliliters of dashi broth. Dissolve 1 tablespoon of miso paste into the broth, and finish with a sprinkle of sesame seeds. Tofu is high in tryptophan. Fermented miso supports gut health, which enhances tryptophan conversion, and sesame seeds contain trace melatonin. Eat this between 6 and 7 p.m. for best effect. The third recipe is a warm walnut honey milk. 1 hour before bed, warm 200 milliliters of milk and stir in 1 tablespoon of finely chopped walnuts and half a teaspoon of raw honey. Walnuts contain melatonin at 3.5 nanograms per gram of dry weight, and milk provides tryptophan. For those with lactose intolerance, unsweetened oat milk is a solid substitute. Diabetics should omit the honey. Important safety notes apply here. Melatonin supplements should not be taken casually. People with autoimmune conditions, liver dysfunction, or those taking anticoagulants or immunosuppressants must consult a physician before using melatonin supplements. High-dose melatonin supplements can cause receptor desensitization, paradoxically making your body's natural production less effective. The safest and most effective strategy is always to optimize lifestyle to support your body's own melatonin production. Pregnant women and anyone under 18 should only use melatonin supplements under professional medical supervision. Here is your 7-day action plan starting tonight. Day 1. Decide on a consistent bedtime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. Set your alarm for 6 to 7 a.m. to allow 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep. Check that your curtains adequately block outside light. Day 2. Enable night mode or blue light filtering on all screens after 9 p.m. Reduce screen brightness to below 50%. Aim to stop screen use entirely 1 hour before bed. Day 3. Add a melatonin-supporting food to your evening meal. Tofu, walnuts, cherries, or banana. Try the evening smoothie recipe for the first time. Day 4. Get at least 30 minutes of outdoor daylight exposure during the day. The contrast between daytime light and nighttime darkness is what sharpens your circadian rhythm and amplifies the melatonin surge at night. Day 5. Adjust your bedroom temperature to between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. Slightly cooler body temperature is required for deep sleep and optimal melatonin secretion. Day 6. Check in on your results. Notice changes in morning freshness, daytime focus, digestion, and skin condition. These are typically the first improvements people feel when melatonin production improves. Day 7. Share this information with someone you care about, especially anyone over 40. Melatonin production begins declining significantly from the 40s onward, making these habits more urgent with each passing decade. Your body is already equipped with one of the most powerful anti-cancer, anti-aging systems ever discovered. It activates in the dark. It peaks around midnight, and it costs absolutely nothing to use. The question is simply whether you will give it the darkness it needs to do its job. Tonight is the right moment to start.